this is Ashley with What's Up Under That. Excuse my voice if it sounds scratchy. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do things a little different. I want to do a past life reading. Because it's been like a lot of things that's come up. And like, you know, even too, like how I kind of like, even more so got that sign was, I was having a conversation with somebody. And they were just like, yeah, you know, as you grow, there's versions of yourself that you'll no longer be. Like those are the past lives that it is that you lived. And after I heard that, after I was already hearing, like, you know, do a past life reading. And I also say this, I want to say this for reference, because a lot of people don't always know what it means. When I say I heard, that is because I am clairaudient. That's what I mean when I always say, oh, you know, I heard, or this and that. So for disclosure, that's what that means. But we're just going to go right into it, you know. I don't know if I want to do this group by group or collective and just see what it is that comes up. So let's see. Oh my gosh. I hate when the card falls out on the floor. Oh, this makes so much sense. The first card that fell out was fall. So I feel like even too, you know, I'm going to say this because it makes sense with this card before I even finish shuffling. There was something that I had said. It was either in a podcast or I said it in a post. And I was just like how in certain cases, like people that have spiritual gifts, you know, some of them may sometimes have to go through a shock in life to awaken those gifts or something that happens. And it's like, it's even like that in the movies, you know, Spider-Man, who was another one? I can't think of the other ones at that time, but Spider-Man is always the one that comes to mind. And I've been using a lot of Spider-Man references this weekend. And it was like, in order for him to come into who he was supposed to be, you know, he had to get bitten by that spider. But not only that, you know, what happened with his Uncle Ben, like, really kicked him into that role. And that is what I'm feeling like here with farming. You know, a lot of you could really be wanting to get into farming right now. Or, you know, you've always feel drawn to it, but you're just like, oh, you know, I have grocery stores, I have this, I have that. There's not really any reason for me to, but y'all, like, do y'all not see the food prices and shit right now? Like, this shit keeps going up and keeps going up and keeps going up. Like, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Like, I was just telling my mom, I feel like part of the reason why the food is going up is because, you know, all of those what's it called? Stimulus checks we were getting, they getting that shit back. Like, they wouldn't just finna be out here like, oh, you know, none of you guys can work, none of you guys can leave the house during COVID, so we'll make up for it by giving you these checks. But we also gonna get that shit back in blood. So it's like, I feel like right now, you know, a food shortage, that is very much so a trauma. It's activating that fight or flight. It's really activating that fight or flight skills. A lot of people are right now just like, that thought, that feeling is being activated through a trauma. There are things that you are feeling called to grow. Like, even too, you may even be in a space where you feel guided to plant certain foods during certain areas. During certain areas. I want to say eras. Why did I say? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you may feel like guided to plant food during certain times. And then, you know, you're like, okay, if I'm going to really get into gardening, if I'm really going to get into farming and livestock and homestead and all that stuff, I need to do research. Then boom, you start doing research and you realize the things you've been prepping to do, the things that you've been feeling guided to, are all from that past life knowledge that it is that you've lived. Like, this is something that is in your DNA, you know, And even too, there are some farmers, like, the Farmer's Almanac. There's some people that go according to when to plant certain things, living their life according to the moon cycles. Because there was a Farmer's Almanac book that I had bought some years back, but it was only for that year. So I think I ended up giving it away to Goodwill. I don't know if I still have it, but it's that keen sense to live aligned with Mother Nature. Like, even too, because of this past life that's emerging, some of you may even feel guided to move out of the city. Like, you're just like, I need to start getting rid of stuff. I don't use half of these things. Like, you're being guided to live a life of simplicity, like leave the hustle and bustle. And it's like, for you, you may find yourself being guided to start going to more farmers markets, or you are connecting with more like-minded people. Like, you're literally shedding this person of who it is that you used to be, because all of these things are coming up for you. And as I'm saying this, I'm sitting here asking myself in my head, I'm like, Spirit, this is very random. This is very loaded. Is this true? And as I said that, my ears started ringing. So whoever needed that confirmation that I just heard too, you may be feeling like, I need to leave my job. Like, you realizing, and as I'm saying that, my ears are ringing louder. You're just like, something clicked, like a light bulb in you went off, and you're just like, this isn't it. It's not it. And even too, I feel like what could also, the trauma that could have did this for somebody is, there's been food. There could be foods that you've been consuming, and you're like realizing, like, damn, I haven't always been allergic to these foods. Like, where is this shit coming from? And that's a whole nother, trauma. Like, anything that brings the fight or flight mode, increases adrenaline in a manner that shocks the system. Because having allergies essentially shocks the system, because your body is constantly having to release histamine, and it's in like a whole fight or flight mode. So it could be that. And it's like, even too, there could be a part of you that's like, I don't even just want to quit my job and move to a small city. I want to leave the country altogether, because you're realizing, the food is crap, and there's no lie about that. The food is crap. Like, some people have known this since before it started becoming more apparent, and other people, it's just dead smack in your face obvious. So we gonna dive in. I'm gonna do I pulled out my shamanic healing deck, because I'm gonna be real with y'all, I forgot I had this deck, and see, if there's anything underlying here, if there's anything that Spirit wants to bring up in connection to the farming. Y'all, I can't make this shit up. The cards that fell out were Slow But Steady and Reunion of Souls. But my mind did not read it as Reunion of Souls. My mind read it as Return to Soul. And that's exactly what it is that's happening, You're returning to those parts of you, If it's in, and this is just my theory, If it's in your DNA, it can also be in a past life. Because I don't feel like I think it's etherically, I don't know. I don't feel like the soul and the spirit just remembers those things alone. I feel like that is DNA driven. Like, there's so much data information that our DNA holds, and I do feel like, just a theory that past lives is a part of that. And then Slow But Steady, that really just confirmed, what it is that I was saying, as far as, you're just like, I'm tired of the hustle and bustle life. I want something different. I want something that allows me to be present. Because even too, on top of everything else, you're realizing, like, I don't feel like I'm where I want to be in life. I don't feel like I'm able to truly and fully enjoy life. And it's like, that could equally be one of the generational curses that it is, what I'm hearing. That could be one of the generational curses that it is that you're breaking for your lineage. You could come from a lineage where everybody was always work. It was like work first and then family after. And you just like, you don't want that for yourself anymore. Like, you don't want it. And I'm also hearing too, like, this is for somebody that's in their 30s, but it's like your soul feels so much older. Like, I just seen like a whole visual of a man who went from a button up, like a suit. He went from a suit to, like, you know, a checkered button up shirt with a white t-shirt underneath. Like, it's like, okay, I've lived this life, and now I want to go back to what it is that my soul remembers. This is what makes my soul happy. And that reminded me of a class that I'm working on. And one of the questions that I asked in the class was, what is spirituality? You know, just to give people an opportunity to, like, ask, what is it to them? And when I looked up the definition, what is spirituality, it essentially said doing things to make the spirit and the soul happy. Like, just paraphrasing, that's what it said. And that's exactly what it is. So it's like, you know, you're finally doing what makes your spirit and doing what makes your soul happy. I'm also hearing here too, somebody, on top of the past life instances, somebody's grandfather could be present. Like, you have a lot of qualities of your grandfather in you. This is very specific because I don't even know if there's any men. I know there's women that listen to my podcast, but I don't know if there's men. So shit, that was a very specific detail. So we're gonna move on here to what's next, because I don't know. I mean, shoot, that could very much so apply for a lot of people, but I don't know. That feels very specific. So we gonna see y'all. And as I said, that that message is loud. I don't know. I feel like I might want to branch off of that too. That farm card. I don't know, because as I was sitting here, I just heard that song by Tina Turner, Left a Good Job in the City. But you know, that was just her. That's just that one part, because those that know that song know it was just her pretty much saying, like, I left something amazing, and this is what the hell I get? This is what the hell I had to go through? Oh, no, take it back. Return to sender. ASAP. What spirit? What else is coming up? I'm going to have to dig into that a little bit. The card that fell out was authority figures. And it's so crazy because I was just watching Texas Walker Ranger yesterday with my mom and my son. And it was this episode where they were in the courtroom for this one dude, and he tried to plead insanity and say that he wasn't mentally competent to stand trial. And they didn't believe him. And next thing you know, this man ended up shooting 3 people. He punched the judge, knocked her out, took her robe. Man, the whole episode was wild. Okay. This card tried to fall out when I was shuffling. So this reading is very much giving people of power realizing their power and trying to find something to do about it. Because the authority figures in the Greco-Roman card fell out. I feel like in the past lives you could have had a lot of authority. Like, the spirit is saying, whoever this is for, you had power and authority in past lives, and there is a high chance you abuse that power. And you know, you received that same power. You received that same power in this lifetime, and it may be a little bit different, but spirit is now calling you to find a different way to utilize that power. And what's crazy about this is there's a girl I follow on Instagram, Morgan Rising with Morgan. I'm like horrible with pronouncing last names because I think she's Italian, I want to say. But damn, I just forgot my whole thought. I hate this. Y'all know it's been a minute since I done had one of those like damn brain farts. Shit, there was something. No, it was a comment that somebody had left on her page, and they were pretty much like, they wanted to learn not just how to manifest on a simple level, but how to manifest on a global level, to see these changes happen globally. And that's what it is that I'm feeling here too. Like, there is some way that you're supposed to be contributing to global healing. There is an imprint. Your spirit really wants your imprint to be taken from a personal level to a community level. You could, I just heard too here, you could be an Aquarius. You could be somebody that's really well known. You may have a big following, and spirit is like, it's time for you to do something different. Like, make a post like, hey, you guys, if you feel guided to, this day we're going to be going like grocery shopping, and we're going to feed the homeless this day. If you go to a park, I want you to take like a bag and like something, and I want you to pick up garbage and clean up the park. Go buy like some seeds and scatter them in random areas, and like really make a friend and group effort. And that's exactly what it is I'm feeling here. But I feel like too, by you making these power moves, because even with Rome, how they say Rome wasn't built in a day. But one of the biggest things that I remembered, it was a video that I watched, and it was about like some building or something like that, and just all of those people and all of those men that built that place, and I don't think that they were ever credited for it. And you may have played a part, in those times. There were a lot of buildings, there were a lot of foundations that were set, and you are okay with getting it done by any means necessary. And now it's like you have all this power and this popularity, but spirit's like, okay, what are you getting ready to do with this shit? What influence are you making in this moment that is having an impact? Even too, especially online, because it's the age of Aquarius. What digital imprint are you leaving? What legacy are you choosing to leave besides being, it's like, and it's not to say, like being a good person, because you may have been the person that changed your ways. You may not be the same person, but spirit is like, being liked is not enough. What are you going to do with this platform? What are you going to do with this audience that's going to help people on that level? You have a lot of power. What other ways can you utilize it? What ways can you do this to help the community, is what spirit is saying here. And you may be one of those people that's like, I don't know how I'm going to make a change. I don't know how I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm only one person. And it's crazy because when I was recording a podcast episode with a guest the other day, the idea came into my head, it only takes one person. Martin Luther King was only one person. Rosa Parks was only one person. Madam C.J. Walker was only one person. Colin Kaepernick was only one person. Taraji P. Henson is only one person. All of these influential people were only one person. And look at the impacts that it had on the world. Things may not be 100%, but we also are not entirely living in the 1950s, 40s, 30s, all of those time periods. We're not having to go somewhere and hope and pray if we go in the store there's a bathroom for colors, or there's a water fountain for colors, or if we go to a diner somewhere to eat, we don't have to overthink like, dang, is there going to be a space to eat for me because I'm a color? Times, while they're not the best, they are also not fully insane like they were back then. So it's like, you have to keep that in mind when you're just like, oh my gosh, what can I do? Like, I'm just one person. You can do a lot. You can do a lot. And even if you don't have that platform, you know, there could have been at one point in time where you were surrounded by a lot of people and you went through a spiritual journey, and now it's just like, you're not the same. That past version of you is gone. All those people you were surrounded with was gone. It's very much giving me Jesus energy. You know, nobody believed him. Nobody wanted to take him serious. Everybody that had the opportunity to turn on him did. And look at what he did. Even after all the sacrifices he made, look at all the people that praise him. Look at all the people that tell his story, so that his story does not fall in vain for everything that he had to go through. Next time you remember you're only one person, I want you to think of one influential person in history that was only one person that created this domino effect that we see in the world today. Now let's pull some shamanic healing. Ooh, oh my goodness, that was a lot of cards. And it was 3 cards. First card is teaching. You've been a student, now it's time to be the teacher. And it's crazy, it reminds me how they say, like, you know, students are the pupils, or students are the seeds. And it's crazy because I see this tree in this picture with a teaching card, but there are no leaves on it. It's like you have all this wisdom, and that's one thing about trees. Trees hold a lot of wisdom. There's some trees that are 120 years old. They've seen things, they've felt things, they've lived things. But it's like, you have all this wisdom, now you have to have people to share it with, so that when you plant, when all these seedlings come in, they can become leaves, and more seeds can come and more seeds can fall. And it's like, I'm hearing the community will gather, so to speak. The next card here is retreat, and then sexual energy. So for somebody, you could be feeling called to just, if you have not already, you are about to go through a awakening. And it could also mean, and I heard too with the farming card, and I've been hearing this, like, you're about to go through a journey of celibacy. Because with sexual energy, the fact that sexual energy and retreat fell out, it's like, too, I feel like this could also be, this is giving me masculine energy. Not even just so much energy, but like an actual man. Because spirit is just like, you need to do better. Like, there has to be better that comes out of this. And it's like, you know, I've been having these thoughts, like conversations with myself all weekend, and I'm just like, the men are not menning the way that they used to. Like, I was watching Texas Walker Ranger, and I'm just like admiring the people in this show, and I'm just like, and this isn't to say, I'm never one of those women that are just like, oh my goodness, there are no more good men out there. Like, that's complete bullshit. In the words of my best friend, I don't subscribe to that narrative. I just let people say what they want and keep it pushing. But I was just like, there's not a lot of men like that left. And I feel like why is because, you know, we got to think, you know, we are the next generation of aunts and uncles and parents and grandparents, and, you know, all of those different things. You know, our parents are leaving, and it's like, it's being left up to us to teach. It's being left up to us to see, okay, something's got to change, you know. Even on TikTok, and I think that's one of the things that I've loved about TikTok, because I'm always like analyzing everything, and one of the things I love is how TikTok gave people that have had these timeless talents, and they finally had a platform to be seen. Like, that is one of the things I absolutely love about it, is how people finally have that platform to be seen. Some people could have been artists for 10 years. And, they sold enough to get them by. God made sure that they would always be taken care of. But now, these people are able to live beyond that. Or they may use that extra money to buy more quality brushes or more quality canvases or paint and things like that. So, I don't know why I said that. And I was gonna shuffle, but honestly, this card speaks for itself. The Monk or Nun card. And it's crazy how the theme of all these cards is silence. Because with Monk or Nun, I feel like you're being drawn to go into a period. You could be drawn to go in a period of silence right now, or just observation. And that's one of the biggest, I would definitely say, that's one of the things that our grandfathers, that's one of the things. No, I'm going to pull out these other two cards, because now that I'm starting to talk, I can see why Spirit said grab those. Because the father and karmic relationship, some of you may be feeling guided to heal your relationship with your father right now. But in order for you to do that, and it's crazy, Monk or Nun. I don't know if monks go celibate. Let me look that up real quick. I know from what I know, nuns abstain from sex. I don't know if monks do. Do monks abstain from sex? Yeah, see? Yeah, it said, like monks, also like nuns. One of the things too is abstaining from sex. So, yes, dang, for once, this is a message for the men. Damn. But yeah, Spirit is calling you for in a past life, dang. It almost, what I'm hearing here too is, in a past life, your father may have been your grandchild, because it's like there's this energy that you exude. It's very old soulish, and it's like you may feel like you are the parent and your actual father is the child, and there's healing here. There's some healing here that needs to take place. But I feel like too, it says karmic relationship, but what I'm feeling like too is, with being that old soul, I do feel like there may have been abandonment. You don't understand, like, why is my father not around? Why is my father not present for my life? And I feel like it's a very high chance that you were the father in a past life, and you abandoned your father/child, because monk, that's a whole lifestyle until God calls you, I guess, to not be in silence anymore. You can't be a parent living in silence. So it's like now that came up as, your father giving you the silent treatment, your father just being excessively childish. And it's like you asked yourself, I don't understand what I did to deserve this. And I feel like that's exactly what it is that it's guided to. But now Spirit is guiding you to be more purposeful. This is the thing. Be more purposeful with your silence. Be observational. Be mindful of what it is that you're intaking. Like, if you're always on the game, or like, even till I'm hearing, like, if you have a porn addiction, because sex seems to be like a theme here also. There are certain things that Spirit wants you to refrain from. You could be one of those people that drink alcohol every weekend, and it's like, it's that feeling of, oh, what are my bros gonna think? What are my bros? Man, fuck them. Damn it, you in your 30s. We need more people, not like the ones that was in the white beaters, beating their wives and drinking and sitting in front of the TV. I'm talking about the outstanding grandfathers, the ones that used to build homes, the ones, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm just going off of TV and shit like that. But, you know, all of that stuff, that's what we need more of now. Especially the generations that are after us, Gen Z and all that stuff, because it's just like, some of them don't have a foundation, and it's weird because it's like a lot of these Gen Z kids are our siblings, and you know, they say siblings do not always have the same experience as the other sibling in the house. 3 siblings could all grow up in the same household, and each one have a different experience and turn out different. And I'm just like, I don't know. Gen Z high key seem like they need a leash or something, because it's some screws that's loose there. I don't know, but yeah, that's the energy there. And it's like, now you could be in a spot where you being called to be the bigger person with your father. Like, you don't want to, you don't even want to go down that route, but Spirit is like, you need to be the bigger person, and you need to reach out to them. Now, don't go all, Ashley, I'm not doing all that. Love you too, baby. Don't go all, Ashley, I'm not doing all that. Look, this was Spirit said, and it's his, excuse me, y'all. But yeah, you're being called to step forward. And like I was saying, this is a collective thing. Like, I was just talking to one of my friends about this. This healing that you're supposed to be doing, this parental healing, it's collective. It's not like, oh, it feels like, you know, it may feel like it, but it's not just like, oh, am I the only one going through this? No, there's several people that are being awakened to this. But the crazy thing is, it's specifically people in their relationship with their fathers that are being guided to this. So we're going to see what comes up with the shamanic healing. Dang, all these cards been coming out in 2s and 3s. So the card that fell out was perception and letting go. Spirit wants you to change your perception of this parent. There could be things here that you don't know, things that you don't understand. And that is never to excuse anybody's behavior. You know, if you were sexually assaulted by this parent, or, you know, or just anything, like, you know, always do things at your own limits. But if you are feeling called to this, and this is just confirmation of that, I say take heed to it. But it's crazy here because with both of these cards, perception and then letting go, they're both black and white. And it's like, you could have been in this it's either or space for so long. If Spirit is wanting you to visit the gray area, Spirit is wanting you to step into the void. Sometimes there is no healing in certainty, because healing is uncertain. Healing is not linear. You know, you could have been living a good life, and I'm hearing it again, living a good life, living in the city and all this other stuff, and now you're being called to, I'm just hearing too, somebody could live in the city and you're being called to move out the city and help your father, or this is just where it is you're being guided to. Spirit is telling you they want this relationship to be rekindled. They want this relationship to be healed. Let me see if it's anything at the bottom of the deck. And see, that's just that. And it's 33 as I'm ending this. At the bottom of the deck is healing energy. So overall, the thing here is Spirit wants you to focus on what is the imprint that you want to leave in the world. I'm going to close it out with that. What is the imprint that you want to leave in the world? Take some time and think about that. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye.